Tune in up on your mobile device or your tablet and type in KUAW. You can go to our Facebook page at KUAW/LPFM 985. I'm sorry, 98.5, or on our Facebook page. I'm sorry, our Facebook YouTube channel. Just type in KUAW, scroll down a little bit, subscribe, and you'll see this broadcast. Please call in at 816-599-6893 or email us your comments, questions, and concerns at KUAW985@gmail.com. This is a very, very festive broadcast because it kind of aligns with why I'm dressed the way that I am. I am wearing vacation apparel, got linen on, my plaid shorts, deck shoes, all that kind of good stuff, because this marks the end of the school year for teachers. And of course, it is teacher vacation. A lot of individuals who are in the educational profession look forward to this time, preferably in late May, early June, to where we go on our vacations away from the school setting. Because around this time of year, starting probably in April, teachers experience a very, very heavy set of burnout. Burnout is very, very dire and detrimental to individuals in the teaching profession because it pretty much determines whether or not we will return the next year. Also, this time period is a sense of limbo because sometimes you just don't know what's going to happen. You don't know if you're going to return back or if your colleague is going to come back or if the individual's extending their contract or if someone was renewed. Also, this time of year, you see a lot of turnover. You see a lot of individuals deciding not to come back. You see a lot of jobs popping up. That is in the teaching profession. Burnout is exactly that. It's that desire to continue to do what you want to do in that classroom or in that educational profession is fizzling out. I have become a victim of burnout several times. As a matter of fact, I will go ahead and admit that I was extremely burned out at the beginning of the school year. I experienced burnout in September. I remember telling my vice principal, hey, I'm not really feeling this school year. It's a very, very serious situation. We need to talk about that. I was thankful that I was able to sit down and talk to someone in regards to the burnout. Now, there are this may be a time of relaxation for some, but it's a time of starting over and starting fresh for most. And note the key word is most. Turnover in the educational profession is extremely high. If you look at some of your Fortune 500 companies and align them with certain school districts, the turnover rate would be very similar. I worked in school buildings where the turnover rate was from 20 to 30 people in one particular school year. I've also worked in some educational entities where the turnover rate was high monthly. Matter of fact, I worked in one educational entity where the actual CEO of that entity said that I don't expect anyone to stay here longer than 2 years. So right there, he's already expecting, or he or she was already expecting, a high turnover rate due to something. And burnout is a culprit. Now, you're probably asking, why are people wanting to leave the teaching profession? What is the source of this burnout? Maybe if we find out the source or source is of some of this burnout, we'll be able to stop it, or we'll be able to stamp it out. So with this being the source of the Inkwell, and the source of the Inkwell is based on education, what other way to talk about education than the reasons why people don't want to be educated? Now, the first half of this broadcast is going to be dedicated to discussing the levels of burnout. The second half of the broadcast will be talking about how we can possibly stop the burnout or kind of reboot our systems, because the human brain is a computer. It's a pretty complex computer, the most sophisticatedly designed computer. And it's like any other piece of software, it needs to go through a reboot or an update surface, a process. So without further ado, let's go ahead and start off with some of the main culprits of burnout that a teacher on the KUAW Facebook page, or call in 816-599-6893. I would love for others to hear from people in the profession or affected by the profession, because I want others to see what we go through, because there are certain things that people need to see. The mask needs to come off. All right, first one, and these are in particular order as far as most severe to less severe, based on certain research. And I will, and that resource is from Minority Teacher Recruitment Report. But the first one is the dissatisfaction with administration. One of the number one reasons for burnout is a dissatisfaction with administration. And when I talk about administration, I'm talking about building administration, like principals, vice principals, superintendents, coordinators, anybody who sits on the upper echelon of a school setting. How can I say this without being, first off, I'm not an employee of any, I don't like to consider myself an employee of any particular educational entity. I am an employee of education itself. And that says something, that says a mouthful right there. When it comes to building supervisors, one of the best parables that can compare to that is a captain is only as strong as his ship. If that captain is strong as their ship, then the crew will align, and no matter if it's smooth sailing or a rocky storm, that crew will stay intact, and that crew will do the job when when the job arises. That crew will be all hands on deck when there's a need for all hands on deck, and when there's not a need for all hands to be on deck. However, in a lot of our schools, we have individuals who run our school systems in a manner in which it's not fit for people to work in. I mean, you saw the people, the brothers and sisters who were in Oklahoma and Arizona who were boycotting and who were going on strike because of their facilities. Okay, you also see the same thing going on in Kansas City about 20 or 30 years ago in regard to teachers going on strike, because they were dissatisfied with how things were being ran. You need an educational leader to run a school district. I'm going to say that again. You need an educational leader to run a school district. Now you're starting to see politicians running school districts, or you're seeing people with business minds running school districts, but you don't see an educator running that school district. And that faces a problem, because, see, when you have individuals who aren't of the educational complexion running a school district, they start pimping. Either way it goes, if you have a politician or a businessman, they start pimping that school district, taking money from the system. And when I say the system, they're taking money from our kids, and they're taking money from our teachers and from our parents. And that's an issue. And that dissatisfaction is a problem, because, see, you have administrators who will sit there and allow stuff like that to happen. They will allow individuals who are from the outside to come in and bastardize the inside of the school system. And that's a problem. Also, you have some individuals who are in administration who are incompetent, or who have no right or no business running a school system. And you see that when they come in and they have no answers, or they hide from parents, or they hide from responsibility. And teachers don't like that, because, see, also what you see when you see an administrator who is not really doing their job, saying that the teacher is called for one particular job, but they're doing your job, administrator, or the job of multiple teachers, and they're not getting a fair shake. That's dissatisfaction. That's an issue. That's a problem. You have this teacher coming in, yes, teaching their classroom and doing their workload, but they're doing the workload of 4 or 5 other people too, plus half of an administrator. And that's not cool. You have administrators who don't support teachers. You have teachers who come in with innovative ideas, whether it be with education, with testing, with academics, with attendance, with sports, or with behavior. But you don't listen to those individuals. You don't promote those individuals. You promote people who will fall behind your lead and to keep you up on that pedestal. But you have people that have innovative ways that might, okay, yeah, they look good, but I don't want this person in the same room shining me because they might outshine me. You have administrators to do that also. I guarantee you can go to any school district or any school building, and if you really sit and listen, you will see in certain situations an administrator keeping their thumb on someone who has innovative ideas, or they're covering them up so nobody sees them. And you see that a lot. And when teachers see that their administrator is not supporting them, or their administrator is not allowing them to speak or allowing them to be a voice, then they leave. The next one, dissatisfaction with accountability and testing. See, testing is supposed to drive instruction or data-driven instruction. So you hear that a lot, data-driven instruction. But how many times has the data been actually valid? There are times where invalid data drives instruction, where kids are being educated on false tests. For example, think about that. How many times have you been to a school setting and you look at the gifted program? And the gifted program is majority Caucasian students or light-skinned students of African descent. And if you look at your behavioral situation or SPED, you see majority students of African descent, majority male. Something's not right with that. So you mean tell me across the board, when there's academic testing going on, students who are Caucasian get it, and students who are African-American male don't get it? I understand that. That's where the testing is not adding up. Now, what I'm saying, it's kind of like going behind the scenes when it comes to education. I'm keeping it real because I've been seeing this for almost 20 years being in the educational system. It always strikes me odd that when you look at the gifted classrooms, the complexion and the economical status of those students are different than the norm. And it doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't. And there are my colleagues in multiple schools that will tell you the exact same thing. Also, when it comes to standardized testing, the test is given differently in different educational settings too. There have been teachers that said, you know what, I don't like how this test is given, how this standardized test is given in my school. I don't agree with how my students are being taught based off this data. And when a teacher speaks up about it, they're quick to be hushed. Hence, I'll go somewhere else. Next one, student discipline. Wow. Student discipline is a major issue. Now, I remember when I was a student, my mother used to always tell the teacher when I was younger, yeah, you go ahead and discipline him if you need to. There were certain teachers that my mother said you can put your hands on him. Now, of course, that teacher wouldn't do that. But me knowing that, for example, Mr. or Mrs. such and such has that authority, I was quiet. Or my mother would always say, you either call me or his father. Matter of fact, in high school, my dad used to always pop up to the school. He came up there and said, your school is in my jurisdiction with AT&T. So I'm going to be riding through here checking on you. Remember one time my daddy busted me skipping class one time. So, yeah, discipline was always out there. Call that kid's father. Call that kid's mother. Now you have teachers who don't even call students, parents. You mean to tell me my child got put out of class and I don't get a phone call home? Or my child got ISS and they don't get a phone call home? My child gets suspended and they got to sign off. First of all, a child shouldn't be signing off on anything. You're 18 years old. You shouldn't be signing off on anything unless it's with your parents' consent. And that's going on in schools. So you're talking to a student about their discipline. Yes, they need to be aware of that, but at the same time, their parent needs to be bought in too. And that's the issue. Parents aren't being made aware of certain things. Also, you have problems with discipline not being handled. You have kids cursing out teachers. You got a teacher coming to school, and last time I checked, that teacher's name is not MF, BITCH, A word, F word, none of that. See, kids are being allowed to say that to teachers. And then when you write that kid up and you send that kid to the office, nothing happens. I remember one time a teacher got cursed out by a student. And on a referral, sometimes when you look at academic, when you look at behavior referrals or conduct cards, you'll see on the area where it says, well, if it even says it, administrative action, the administrator says, go apologize. So this kid sat up there and got in this teacher's face and cursed this teacher out, and their only consequence was to go apologize. No, that's an issue. All right. You have kids who sit up here and they put their hands on teachers, whether it be in a sexual nature or a violent nature, and they're right back in the school. You have drugs being sold in school. You have violent acts being done to other students in school, threats being done. As you can see, everything started escalating. Something as simple as not doing your homework to something as complex as bringing a weapon to school. All this stuff goes on. And see, when you don't check certain things, I was always told if you don't stamp out that small fire, it rages into a wildfire, an uncontrollable rage. See, you sitting up here with Hawaii going on in your classroom. You know, something erupting, something that you can't stop in your school building because you got an administrator either not doing it because they don't want to be bothered with it or because they're being told not to do it. Because see, now you're starting to see certain school situations where they got a superintendent over their principal telling that teacher, no, we're not going to do it like that. So kids are being allowed to do certain things. Parents are being allowed to do certain things in the school building too. Because, oh, yeah, you got parents that go up in there and act the fool too. And also on certain situations when it comes in certain schools, you have teachers that sit up here and do things to other teachers. And it's okay. So really, to be quite honest, it's not just student discipline. It's discipline in general is going unchecked. And people don't have time for that. You know, think about that. You got a husband every night and his wife comes home talking about how somebody cursed her out or someone threatened her. Or you have a man come home to his kids saying, hey, I'm a little nervous about bringing you to my school because I got kids threatening me. All that stuff goes on in school. See, people don't want to tell you that. Sometimes the school building can be one of the dangerous places for somebody because stuff goes unchecked. And then you got someone like me who wants to say something about it, and they're being made the victim or being made going on. Every year I go, almost every year I've been teaching, I'm hearing somebody saying, I don't feel safe in this school building. And that's a problem. If you don't feel safe, how are you going to have a safe educational classroom? Next one. I can talk about student discipline all day. Next one. Lack of influence and autonomy. Autonomy means you have the ability to do whatever you want for whatever you need to. See, sometimes teachers, when you walk up into a classroom, you're thinking, okay, this is what I'm going to do. I want y'all to watch. I'm going to decorate my classroom this way. I'm going to put this board right here. I'm going to organize my classroom like this. I'm going to have this here. I'm going to have this there. But when you walk up in there, they give you a curriculum, which is fine, but they tell you word for word what to say and what to do. And they tell you to teach like the person next door. No, you can't do that. The key word is autonomy. When you tell a teacher to teach autonomously, that individual then puts a piece of them into that classroom, which forges a stronger connection between teacher and student. If I'm sitting up here teaching like Mr. Walker or teaching like Miss Nelson or teaching like Dr. Smith, that's not teaching like Tyrone Gathers Jr. No, teachers need to be able to put a piece of them in their lessons, because when they do that, it shows that it's theirs, it's unique, it's original. But see, now you have that lack of autonomy in the school system. Now you got someone telling you how to teach. Think about that. You've been teaching for 20 years and you walk up in there and someone with only 2 years of experience is telling you, well, because I looked on the internet and I saw this, we're going to do that. No. See, it's called best practices for a reason. What's best for you in your classroom. See, I do a lot of gaming and I do a lot of engaging. I don't, and I do a lot of lecturing. I was told, well, he talks too much. Wow. But see, you're focused on what I'm doing, but you didn't focus on what those students were doing. They were taking notes. We were having dialogue. And when I tested my students, guess what? They knew what they were talking about based on my teaching style. Because see, when you tell a teacher to not teach how they teach and teach how you want them to teach, that's dangerous because you're affecting the way those students learn. You see, every teacher's classroom, if they're doing good at what they're doing, those students are a reflection of what they're of what they're teaching. You might want to watch that, administrators who are watching. I can say that. Next one, poor workplace conditions. I mean, look at it. Think about it. You go to a school, you sit down, and the desk is older than your grandma. You have furniture in these schools that's been here since the 60s, and these kids are still using them. Wow. Okay, you put a smart board in the school building, that's fine. But what about the other things? What about the plumbing, the sewage, the pest control? I'm gonna be real with you. I mean, it's disrespectful that parents and teachers allow kids to go to schools where there are more rats, roaches, and mice than students. You allow that to happen. You go up in a school building. I went to, you know what? I'm gonna be real. I went to a school, and if you want to know this school, please privately inbox me. I went to a school and they had a mural of Africans enslaved on the wall, and it's 2018, and you got a picture of Africans being whipped on the wall. Yeah, that don't take the microphone from someone that got a voice. So I'm gonna keep talking about it. You got kids walking up in the school building, and unconsciously and consciously, there's a picture derived of enslavement of their people on the wall. That's a problem. You have see when you have outdated facilities, you have people with an outdated way of thinking. You see, the facility goes beyond the building. The facility also goes to the person teaching too. Think about that one also. I mean, people only perform based on the facility that they're in. I mean, you got people going up to schools and you got boarded up windows. You got schools just now getting air conditioning. You got a school that teaches gym class. And they don't have a gym in the school building. You got a gym class on your child's schedule, but there's not a gym in the school building. How is that? Facilities, people. You know, you got outdated tech. But you go outside the Kansas City area and you got that. Now, I don't want to hear we don't have the money. Yeah, you do. You got someone getting paid $300,000 a year. You got the money. That's the problem. We have people we allow people to tell us that the money's not there. And really the money is there. The money's been there, but it's being used in other ways. You got someone getting paid more than the governor that's running school districts, but we don't have any money to fix up our schools. We have a school district that buys brand new cars for security just to ride around. Well, you don't have air conditioner in your school building. You have a superintendent decked out in the nicest, finest threads, but you don't have facilities to support your schedule. That's a problem. Next one, classroom intrusions. Ooh, man. Classroom intrusions can be something as simple as someone knocking on your door to someone blowing you up on the intercom system or on the radio. I teach gym for summer school, and having a radio attached to your hip is one of the most intrusive things out there. You're hearing everyone's conversation. I mean, so I had to shut it off a few times. Now, of course, you know, you're probably going to say, well, you know, you might want to leave that on, but other teachers have theirs on too. But I mean, man, you're trying to explain the rules and you got someone blaring on the intercom system about something. Or you're sitting there and you're teaching your class and you got some keys jingling outside your door. One of the worst things that I don't like is when I'm teaching a lesson and I'm hearing this and someone walks in over something very minute or someone interrupts you. I remember I was teaching at Westport Middle School, and Dr. Cook we were having a discussion, and Dr. Cook said she asked what problems that we had. And I said, I have an issue with when I'm teaching lessons, my phone's always ringing from the office. She said, the next time your phone rings from the office, you answer it and you let them know, do not interrupt my classroom while I'm teaching. And if you have a problem with that, please call the superintendent's office and ask for it, and you tell them my name. That will support. I love the fact that she said that because I got sick and tired of all those interruptions over some of the silliest things. I mean, you're having a great lesson and you got, you know, something crazy pop up. Also email too. Teaching a lesson and someone emails you, can you send such and such to the library, turn in the library book? No, I mean, that could be done some other time. Find another time to ask for your library book before you interrupt my class when I'm giving a test. Or but then you want to get on us about testing and data. But you're interrupting us every 5 minutes. Well, I'm being facetious, but you're interrupting us quite frequently during instruction time, but you want high test scores. Won't you leave me alone? Let me teach. Leave us alone. Let us teach. Next one, poor benefits and salaries. Now, some people keep saying that teachers are broke. Stop saying that. Okay. There are a lot of individuals who do very well teaching. We don't get paid our worth. I'd rather you say that than saying the teachers don't get paid. Okay. There are other ways inside education to get paid on top of your salary based on where you go or where you teach. You can coach. You can be a chair over a department. You can be an administrator. I mean, you can take on extra duties. You can do a lot of things to get extra funds. However, I do agree that the money can be a lot better than what it is. It's also the benefits too. Now, let's be real here. The teaching profession was designed for people to have a spouse with higher money or higher benefits. For example, if I try to add my child on my benefits, it's a lot of money. I got to go and buy a la carte for my child. Okay. A lot of teachers do that. A lot of teachers buy outside of their insurance plan because of the high insurance. It's extremely high. One, because of workman's comp claims, or two, because they think, hey, this, let's, I'm gonna just say it. The teaching profession is geared towards women to teach. I'm not knocking that, but I mean, the teaching profession is very stereotypical. It's very rare to see a man, especially a man of color, in the teaching profession, because they assume that their spouse is going to take care of them. Now, I can say that because some school districts actually, say that, and it's messed up. So the benefit package is not where it should be. Not at all. Not about time for a break. Okay. I'm going to take a quick commercial break, and I'm going to come back with two more reasons why teachers leave, and then I'm going to come back and discuss how we can kind of chill out with the whole burnout piece. Facebook Live, stay with us. Radio, I'll be right back. That went quick.
Sponsor, KWW Radio. At Royal James Bank Trust, we believe that home ownership builds strong communities. Whether you're looking for a first home or need funds for home preservation or to memorialize your home, we have the most expensive for you. Visit us at WJBTRC.com to get started today. FDIC, Equal Housing Lender. Icon Company, LLC, specializes in a wide range of construction services, which includes the removal and replacement of concrete curbs, sidewalk, driveway, and paving. They pride themselves in the quality of their service, but more importantly, with the quickness in which they provide those services. Their primary goal and objective is to achieve 100% customer satisfaction, and they won't settle for anything less. Their crews travel within a 100-mile radius of the Kansas City, Missouri metropolitan area, which includes cities on both sides of the Kansas and Missouri state line. Icon Company, LLC, 4435 Prospect Avenue, Kansas City, Missouri, 64130. 816-921-0473.
All right.
Company, LLC. Quality with quickness. Proud sponsor of Wake Up KC.
And we're back. I am Michael. I am Tyrone Gathers Jr., your host of The Source of the Inkwell on KUAW, Kansas City's global community radio station. Knowledge, understanding, and wisdom can be listened on a number of ways. You can listen to us on KUAW.org, or the TuneIn app, type in KUAW, or you can go to the Facebook page and go to KUAW/LPFM 98.5, or now we're streaming on YouTube. Click in KUAW, click in radio, scroll down, and you'll be able to subscribe. Please subscribe because there's a lot of amazing content on KUAW. Also, please call in at 816-599-6893 and call in and interact with me. I'm the only one in the studio. Well, myself and Mr. Walker. We might need someone to talk to. Also, one more thing, too. I'm getting to the point now to where I am wanting to have a co-host. I know earlier I was discussing that I wanted a co-host to come in and do different things. If you're interested in coming in and co-hosting certain things, please, email us at kuaw985@gmail.com or send me a message, Tyrone Gathers Jr. on Facebook. Now, before we went on break, I was talking about why teachers are burned out. Burnout is a very important and dire and detrimental thing for teachers, because teachers are not only are they people inside the classroom. If you do your job well, teachers, you become a member of that student's family, and your classroom becomes your own family too. And those kids and those parents, and also the teaching community, become attached to you. And if you leave, it's an issue. I've worked with a lot of great teachers who are no longer either in our, I no longer teach with, or they are in different professions, and that hurts. It's like a member of your family is gone. It's like a mourning process. You don't see them every day. And that's a downer. And then you have someone that comes in that, I don't want to say replaces that person, but they're teaching in their spot, and it's not like it used to be. And you got to start over again and reinforce those relationships. But I went through and discussed some of the areas where teachers are burning out in more ways than one. And I'll go through the list again. Dissatisfied with administration, dissatisfied with accountability and testing, student discipline problems. And when I say discipline, I mean students, parents, teachers, other staff members going unchecked, lack of influence of autonomy and instruction, poor workplace conditions, classroom intrusions. And I left off on poor salary and benefits. It's like I said one time before, could you imagine a world where teachers got endorsements like NBA players and sports figures do? Could you imagine if I had an endorsement to Mead, or an endorsement to Bic, or if Trapper Keeper sponsored me, or if Staples sponsored the school, or if Office Depot provided commentary? I mean, think about that. And if you want to know what that looks like, I know Key and Peele had a sketch about that. You might want to check that out. I mean, it may be comical, but it's very eye-opening. That was like one of those Richard Pryor type sketches. Yeah, it's funny, but if you really sit and look at it, it's really teaching you something while you're laughing. So I would check that out. What if teachers got endorsements like athletes? Maybe that might be another topic of the show. See, Dan Smith's listening. Might want to bring in Brother Roger for that. I need to get him back in the Inkwell. Also, next one, dissatisfied with teaching assignment. Now, when you sign that contract to be an English teacher or a math teacher or a gym teacher, don't get confused with you have to tell you that they place you where you're needed. Now, there are some situations where people are placed in areas where they don't like it. For example, if teacher A is a math teacher in the 6th grade and they love teaching 6th grade students, and they've been doing it for, I don't know, a long time. And then the principal comes in and says, we need you to teach 8th grade geometry or 8th grade algebra. Well, then immediately that teacher's they may not like that. Or what if you get put on another team that's not as supportive as the team that you're on? Or you get put into a building where they're an administrator and you just don't click. Or you go to a district and that district is just low performing. I mean, sometimes the assignment itself can cause you to leave as well. I don't like this, or I don't feel like I am, liking it may not be the issue. You may not feel like you're valued. For example, I've been working in this school building. Teacher A has been working in the school building for 3 or 4 years, and their voice is not being heard, or their good works are going unnoticed. Then they may decide to go somewhere else because they're not comfortable with that. I don't like the fact that I'm being here. I work all day, every day, taking time from my family to come in here and provide for this school, and I'm not being valued. I'm not being promoted. That's an issue. Like I said, that topic itself can be seen as a whole show also. Next one, our last one. Class sizes are too large. Now, state of Missouri requires that, I believe, 32 students can be in the classroom. Might be 35 for one teacher. Large class sizes in a small room is an issue. Got some good news? Okay. I saw my man, Mr. Walker, going yes when I said large classes. I'm like, well, hold on. Whoa. No, we don't like that. Yeah. Now, think about that. Of course, you're saying, well, that's your assignment. You're right. My job is to teach. However, the larger the class size, the more obstacles the teacher has to go through in order to give an effective lesson. Think about that. You have one teacher in a classroom the size of my room or the size of the studio with 30 students in there. No. Now, you need to sometimes, now some classes or some schools will give you another teacher in there too, or a para, or they will come in and check on you every now and then. Hey, everything cool, to make sure every student's being taken care of. Now, come on now. It's 2018. You got kids with multiple issues, multiple needs, and you have 35 kids in one classroom with one teacher. How's everybody's need being met? How? Come on. Explain to me how that's being done. Now, that itself is a problem too. I have one comment that just came in. A teachable opportunity to make a difference with other students other than your own students. Yes, that's what teaching is all about. However, you need to be able to prepare that teacher to do it and not set that teacher up to fail. And I mean, come on, now you got a new teacher fresh off the bus coming in your school building and they got 34 kids. And then out of those 34 kids, now think about it. You can have 34 students that are great. I've had that. But they got 34 to 35 students in that classroom and most of them have behavioral issues and they have no support. That's a problem. Offer that support for large class sizes. Now, all my teacher friends who are out there listening, how many times have you either experienced or you've witnessed someone who had a large class size and they pushing that button asking for assistance and the assistance is either slow or they don't show up? That's an issue. And people leave because of that. Because, see, you get burned out assisting all of these students in that one particular classroom setting. I got 34 kids in this one class. It wears me out teaching these 34 kids for an hour to 2 hours, depending on the day. And I have a class of 20 kids coming in next. Ooh, that's going to burn me out. I'm not going to be at my full potential for this group. Now, I said a lot of things that might burn teachers out, but what are some things teachers can do to reset and reboot that cognitive device in their mind? Now, being a teacher is rough. It can be stressful. It can sometimes make you feel unappreciated, but it's one of the most important jobs out there. One benefit of being a teacher is having a summer break. Some teachers take vacations, others prepare for the next school year. And relax, kick your feet up. Do whatever it is you do to help you relax. First things first, take some time to relax and have that time for yourself. Even if you have a lot planned for the summer, take some time to just kick back and take care of you, whether it's getting your hair done. Well, it's not me because I don't have any. Or going out and watching a movie or reading a good book. Do something for you. Studies have shown that when you rest and relax, not only do you relieve stress and anxiety, but also it has strong benefits for your health too. It lowers the blood pressure and it makes the heart rate more healthy. General hospitals conducted studies that found relaxation response techniques such as meditation and yoga and prayer could reduce the need for healthcare services by 43%. So if you go on vacation or just take some time to just be at home, or spending time with your friend or family first and friends and do no work period for your school or for your job, you'll be a lot better, be a lot stronger. And last time I checked, teachers, if you die right now, your family suffers A whole lot more than that school building would. Because last time I checked, if you pass away right now from stress from the job, guess what? Your family can't replace you. That school can. So take care of you and take care of home. Stay informed. It's always good to stay up to date on the changes and trends. Kind of take time and see what's in with your profession, what's in with your students. So when you come into your school next school year, you're kind of up on game. You know what the best tech is, the best practice is, or what students are more gravitating towards to kind of incorporate into your arsenal to help your students combat ignorance and be scholars. Summer is no exception. Make sure that you continue to work on yourself, improve your craft on what you do. Get in that dojo and get yourself together mentally on what you need to do for your students. Many school districts will help provide opportunities for the summer. Hold on real quick. I'm about to take time for myself. I'm live on the air right now. My sister just called in. How you doing, Tamara? Yeah, I just got through saying that you need to take time for self and take time for family. I'm taking time for my job to tell you right now, I love you very much. Cool, right on. I'm gonna get back with you. I didn't mean to bust you out live on the Inkwell like that, but I got to. I had to give an example of taking time out from your job to take time for your family. So I'll give you a call when I get done. Professional. That's right. Yay. That's right. That's right. And my sister's also in the educational field too, so she knows. So I'll give you a call when I get done here. Okay. All right. See that, taking time for family, even on your side jobs too. So also, not only is it an opportunity for you to take care of yourself, but also professional development too. Go ahead and sit down and have that time, that break time with your colleagues, or I'll talk to the families of your students. What do you think is best? What professional development can I do to come back in? Not only will this be valuable for you, but it will also bring value to your students, and it may be less stressful going in. So being more prepared is less stressful. Exercise and get outside. Get you a nice straw hat. Sit on the porch. Have your nice little beverage, whether it's some juice or something, something to relax you. Read a magazine. Enjoy the weather. Enjoy time. Get out there and work in that yard. Make your little garden. Friend of mine goes on her Facebook page every day and talks about her farm, talks about what she's growing. Do something outside or exercise. Got a friend of mine said, hey, when I get done work, I'm gonna go out there and run. Exercise. Summer is all about getting outside and being active. The weather is warm and nice, and it's a lot of people who just wanted to spend their days lounging by the pool. While there is nothing wrong with that, there's also a great time to work out and get in shape. So even if you just hop in the pool or cool off or swim a few laps or go running or biking or getting outside and cutting that yard, that helps you out. That helps you relieve that stress and that tension. That's a routine of getting yourself active. So when you get back to school, you'll be a lot more de-stressed and you'll still want to get out there and do things. I already talked about being ready for the next year, being innovative with best practices, doing new things, finding out what's in, spending time with loved ones, leave them papers alone. Spend time with your kids, with your spouse, with your boo things, with your parents, with your family. Go to a family reunion. All right. Work on that. Work on that family time. Spend more time with your kids. Build those relationships. So when you do go back into the next school year, because being a parent of a teacher or a spouse, significant other, their time is rough because their time is divided. So work on your relationship with your teacher in the family, or with the people in your family that have you as a teacher. So when the next school year comes, they're able to understand things and they're able to spend that time with you while they have you. Always remember that being a teacher is not easy. It's an important role in many people's lives. You are also helping to educate and shape the generations to come. This is no small task. All right. This is a team effort. It comes at a price of your own time and happiness. So you know that going in. So summertime, remember to relax and enjoy and reboot. Now, there are some other things we can do too. Also, teachers, avoid those teacher skeptics. You got people that say, you know, it must be nice to only work 8 months out of the year. Or I wish I had paid summers off. Hearing comments like that it's bound to make you upset. And you don't need to be around people like that because see, you know what you do. You know that a work day for you is a whole lot different than a work day for somebody else. So my thing is, you know what you do. Stay away from folk that kind of sit up there and throw salt on what you do every day. Here's another good one. See, people like to tease me about this. Sleep or take a nap and don't feel guilty about it. Man, when you go up in that classroom, you're dealing with students with different personalities, and you also dealing with adults. Someone asked me, what's the biggest problem in the school? The biggest problem in the school is not the students. It's always the teachers. And I'm telling you right now, sometimes dealing with those crazy adults will it seem like a vacation dealing with a classroom full of rowdy kids. So go home, take a nap. If it's not 15 minutes, 10 minutes, or that power nap for an hour, I call it G sleep. When I go home and on Saturday morning, I sleep all Saturday morning. That sometimes is what you need to reboot yourself, to get yourself energized. Sleep is a teacher's best friend. My mother just texted in and said, I need to take my own advice in regarding relaxation. Look at that. Old as I am, I got my mama trying to check me on. Still, all right. Gotta listen to mama. I got to walk over her too. Yeah, they know I'm a busy guy, but you know I am taking my own advice. I am going to rest and relax. I went a whole year. The year of 2017 was rough. I did not sleep for a whole year, and that was detrimental. All right, take time to laugh. My students will tell you, we sit up there, we crack jokes, we laugh, we have a good time. Laugh. Laughter has been proven to help you relax. It relaxes the whole body. When you laugh, endorphins shoot out and your whole body relax. I was out at Buffalo Wild Wings and I ran into some brothers from my church. And I had a rough week. God knew what he was doing. I sat down. I mean, I'm still laughing about this right now. So if they're watching or listening, I really thank you for that because that laughter was definitely needed because it sent me on a very stress-free beginning of the week. And also the people I work with too. I work with I teach gym with Donnell Fletcher and Whitney Scott, and it's never a dull moment teaching with those two. I mean, we've been having fun the whole entire summer school. I know it's only been 2 days, but still, it's fun. Let's see, take time to laugh. Oh yeah. Also, now that teachers, you're not teaching, take a long lunch. When we teach in school, we have a 15-minute to 30-minute lunch. That's not time to enjoy your lunch. By the time you sit there and heat up your food and sit down, you got to scarf your food down. Take a long lunch. Go somewhere and sit down and eat and relax. The last day of school, a lot of teachers went out to certain restaurants and they sat there and they relaxed and they ate and had a good time and they laughed. Teachers, let's be real. How many times have you had a lunch break taken away from you? Case in point, you go to lunch and that's the only time you can go to the bathroom. Or that's the only time you can make a phone call. Or your administrator calls you in and talks to you on your lunch break, which is illegal because you're supposed to have a lunch break. Or you got to make copies. Your lunchtime is not used for lunch. So go ahead and take that lunchtime for you. Go and take a nice long lunch. Go and just hey, you know what? I really want a Gate sandwich or some barbecue. I don't want to plug a particular restaurant. I really want some Mexican food. I really want to go here. And I've been wanting to go here, but I can't. Go ahead and go in there and splurge. Go ahead and spend $20 to get you, a nice little lunch. Treat me if you want to. Call me, 816-599-6893 up in KUAW and take me out to a lunch. I deserve it. Now, I kind of joke when I said the restroom thing, and it is on my list. Teachers, man, go to the bathroom. How many times have you sat there and you were sitting in class and you can't go to the restroom, or you got to hold it in? Sometimes a teacher's bladder is probably the most unhealthiest bladder because you got to hold it. because you got classes back to back to back to back. Here you are, 20 and 30 and 40 years old, and you can't go pee. You know, it don't make no sense. You understand that? Seriously. And I'm gonna be real with you. Sometimes when you have a nice bathroom break, that's a relaxation itself. Not trying to be nasty or anything, but you know, you're able to go and just, hey, you know what? I can go back and go to the restroom. You don't got nobody rushing you, or you don't got nobody covering you. You got to come back real quick. No, take a long bathroom break. You think I'm being funny? I'm being serious. Teachers, go to the restroom on your summer break. Enjoy your bathroom. Put TV in there. Next one. Go on a Netflix binge. I've been doing that. Now my son and I, we've been watching the Avengers cartoons. He likes that. He likes the Justice League cartoons. And it's funny because like when we sit down and eat and I put these shows on for him, he's focused. He's hyped up. You know, it's one episode where I'm sitting up here watching, and Batman is saying, okay, I'm about to go leave and get backup. They're like, where's he going? He calls back and he says, I got backup. He opens up an airplane and there's this little kid in there and he's up there smiling. Batman says, you ready? Kid says, yeah. Kid jumps out the airplane. I said, whoa, what's going on with this? My kid's like, what's this kid doing jumping out the airplane? And the kid says, Shazam. Lightning bolt hits the kid. Kid turns into Captain Marvel and he's wearing everybody out. Paul's going nuts. So the fact that, you know, I'm sitting up here watching my son having enjoyment in this, I'm getting enjoyment. I'm relaxing. You know, you never know. Watch your favorite show can bring your family closer together. That one little segment on that cartoon brought me and that little boy closer. Literally. Because now he wants to watch that stuff. You know, watch your favorite show. Matter of fact, I'm getting hyped. Because I got Luke Cage season 2 coming up in here. And Luke Cage is a bad man. Shoot, Luke Cage is the neighborhood hero. And I can't wait to watch it. That's been the highlight of my school year. When I saw the Luke Cage trailer, I said, shoot, I know what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to sit back and watch it. Because Luke Cage kind of like me. You go up in there, you know what? You a hero of the community. Yeah. Hey, talking about that Luke Cage, y'all. Let's see. Next one. Stay in your pajamas all day. See, people think that that's nasty or whatever, but no, sometimes wearing relaxing clothes will give you a relaxing state of mind. Put on your pajamas with the feet in them. Although it's 90 degrees outside, but turn your air on and just sit back and just do nothing. Lay in bed all day. You deserve it. You know, get up, use the bathroom, eat something, brush your teeth, lay back down. Then get back up, use the bathroom again, call your friend, eat something else, lay back down. You know, relax. Do only for yourself. Sometimes you got to do for yourself. To thine own self, be true. You don't take care of you, who's going to take care of you? You know, don't expect no man to do it or no woman to do it. You got to take care of you. Let's see. Get a massage. Okay. Getting those massages releases those endorphins and this, that, you know, it gets you in bliss. You'd be surprised. A little massage can go a long way. And last, but certainly not least, take a vacation. And if you're not able to go away somewhere exotic or go to another nice city, do a staycation. You know, go somewhere nice, go camping or go to a nice little hotel or, you know, do what some people do. Shut off all forms of communication, get all the food you like and sit in your house and just be like, you know what? This is me. All right. When it all comes down to it, teachers, you have to take care of you. Because if you're not taking care of yourself and getting your mind relaxed and getting yourself mentally ready, then those students won't be ready. Because see, like I said earlier, although we have individuals who we feel should not be running our school district and running our school educational systems, you run your classroom. You can make a mighty difference in your classroom. And if you're not together, if you're not ready, then those students won't be ready. Teachers, as my mother said, take time out. Put yourself in time out. That makes wonders. Get yourself together. Get yourself focused. Because when it all comes down to it, you have a lot of individuals that rely on you and that are counting on you to make a difference. Teachers, this summer vacation, let your mind go on vacation so you can come back ready and strong for these babies. I'm Tyrone Gathers Jr. And this is the source of the Inkwell. And in the Inkwell, education flows like ink. And when it overflows and it stains, it's permanent. Let it stay there. Stay blessed.
You gave some mom tips. I tell people teachers are second parents.
They are. To go to school.
Yeah, absolutely.
Either your parent paid you to go live with that teacher in that cave or whatever, or that teacher was invited to live with you.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that teacher raised you. Your parent did.